Thank you.
All right. Hey, everyone. We have a few of you guys are on here. I think there's a couple of you guys on here. So I want to wait for like a couple more minutes just to see if anybody else wants to get on, and then we kind of get started.
All right, we'll do sound checks.
Yes.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good.
Well, do we need to record this probably?
It is.
It's recording. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started because it is recorded and we can send it out to anyone that has is missed anyway the introduction. So I'm Harriet Mills. I'm the founder of Wine and Design. And today we are going to be talking with Marion and Craig Burt, who actually are our first franchisees, as well as our first artists of wine and design. So I'll kind of go over a little bit of who we are. So that's me and Marion and Craig right there. And then I'm going to ask them a few questions. And if anyone has any questions, they can feel free to use the chat button and ask us any questions they might have. But this should be short and sweet, but just a little bit of how we got started and stuff like that. So wine and design was created 10 years ago in May. Right, guys? No, 11 years ago in May. Yeah, 11 years ago in May. We started franchising 10 years ago in May. And whenever I created this concept, we needed to find artists. I don't know how to paint. I'm just a salesperson. So we put an ad out on Craigslist. Back in the day, that was okay. And we invited this, we met this married couple in, I think it was Starbucks, guys, right?
Yep.
And we interviewed them and kind of asked them some questions. They seemed great. So we had them over to my house and they taught us a painting. And it was kind of, the rest was history. We both fell in love with each other. We loved, we just had like that friendship right off the bat. And honestly, they came in and really took over wine and design and made really what wine and design is today. They kind of was on the journey from the very beginning with us. And then about 9 months after they started working with us, they came in and said, we want to open one. And at that point, I was kind of like, well, you can't, compete with me. So that's kind of how we looked into doing the franchising. And so that's kind of over the years. You can kind of see. Do you want to put on my face now? Like this? But
they can see you.
Oh, they can see me. Okay, sorry. Sorry, y'all. So Marion and Craig, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions on a few things, and I'll kind of go through like the background of the fun photos as well. But what made you want to open your own wine and design?
We have to take turns doing this. I think that when you put the Craigslist ad and we interviewed and you liked us and we came and we did a painting or taught you guys paintings. I mean, we were making it up as we go along. We had no idea what we were getting into, and we had no idea that wine and design would take off and grow and prosper. We thought it was going to be like a pet rock, here today and gone tomorrow in the beginning. And I think as we got involved and as it started getting busier and growing, that's when we said that this is more than we ever thought it was going to be, and we want to be a part of it.
And at that time, we were just empty nesters. So we knew we had the time to run a business, and we loved the concept. We had fallen in love with it. We became passionate with it, even though we had no idea what the future would be, but we believed in that concept. and said, hey, Harriet, how about we have our own studio? We partner with you guys and we have our own studio. Because at the time we're both artists, we knew we could do it. And we were empty nesters. We had free time.
And guys, when I say they're artists, I'm not sure if you've ever been to a wine and design studio, and it's, we're not trying to teach customers how to be artists, but Mary and Craig are true artists. So when they came to this concept, they looked a little bit weary about like, oh, these are really easy paintings and da 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 da. And I think, do you not kind of agree that took a little bit getting used to of understanding that we're not teaching our customers how to be artists, we're teaching them to have fun and experience.
Absolutely. And again, this is 2010. There was no paint and sips around. The concept was so new. So as soon as the light bulb went out and off in my head that, oh, I am teaching them, not teaching, I am showing them step by step how to complete a painting. They have no experience. So it's up to me to say the right things for them to complete a nice painting that they're happy with. It was really fascinating to sort of be part of this.
And we're entirely two different types of personalities. I'm more of an introvert, and for me, there was a challenge to really come out of myself and be in front of a group of people and enunciate and explain and demonstrate. And I really needed that. So it was wonderful for me to come out of my box and get on a stage and connect with people in a way that I normally wouldn't or didn't do in my regular world in business.
And I really do believe that we've helped over the years lots of artists like you guys, not necessarily become franchise owners, but also have that experience to get in front of people, not just behind a canvas, but they can actually get in front of people as well as behind a canvas and share their light and their personality as well.
Absolutely.
So y'all have opened up a wine and design. It's been great in Cary, North Carolina. So it's been 10 years, right? This 10 years will be coming up this May, right? Is it May?
Right.
How has your experience been over these last 10 years? I'm going to kind of go over, just some photos that you guys have, some paintings and classes that y'all have done. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
I know we've
grown over the years, and there's been so many changes. We've gone through brands, we've done everything else. So, tell us kind of, your ebbs and flows and what's I guess what brings you joy about it.
Oh, it brings so much joy. And the last 10 years, because we're entrepreneurs, and prior to wine and design, we were self-employed artists. And we believe that the last 10 years, because we were in our 50s in the last 10 years, we had our highest income also, which is very interesting as far as being self-employed artists. And it does, you are right. This concept has brought employment to so many artists, and that is a huge blessing. And as far as 10 years, I have grown as a person immensely. And I think that when you're open for the teachable moments, and I've grown, I took those teachable moments and I looked at them as positive, and I grew and became a better person all around. So I just, the personal growth is amazing.
And Marianne would say that she had no idea of the businesswoman that's inside of her that has come out. And it was because of her experiences of being, running the business, managing people, scheduling the artists and scheduling the canvases and paintings and things like that on a day-to-day basis, and dealing with the personnel and the people that we deal with, that she's amazing. And it was based on what we've learned through all of this.
That is so true. I never knew I was a good businesswoman, but I have been in charge of operations 100% for the 10 years. Craig is, he takes on the role that he's gifted and good at, and I took on the role that I was best at. And I think that when you do that and you delegate using the right talents for the right positions, it works so well.
So, you know, to all of our, I guess, listeners that is out there, do you think that you're saying as artists, is, you know, as artists owning a business, especially with a business that's given you the documentation and the manuals and stuff like that to follow, it's you can do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, from the day one to where we are now, we've had a lot of growing pains. 4 websites, I think, that we've evolved through. They've gotten more robust and being able to handle the flow of growth that wine and design has gone through. And, you know, that's part of some of the learning experience of how to evolve and adopt and learn and keep pace with the speed at which this has grown over the past 10, 11 years.
But today, owning a franchise, you buy a franchise today, it's a business in a box. Everything is available for you. Everything. Training, marketing, everything. Content,
Right. Yeah.
everything.
Because the thing is, guys listening, Marion and Craig started this business when I started this business. So they're learning. So they went through lots. They're pretty much ebbs and flows. They're the guinea pigs for everything. So, you know, I'm sure that's the next question was what's been the most challenging aspect. I would assume that being the guinea pigs of everything.
Well, I love the fact that we were able to bring our knowledge and experience to this. And, you know, as we evolved and we grew, we started doing things that, for instance, like Paint Your Pet. We're Mod Podging the canvases and doing all of that, where we were using a projecting screen to trace canvases. We said there's got to be a better way. And that's
Right.
part of my experience of being an innovator and creating things that will make it easier and better and faster. And that's part of the thinking is, you know, if it's going to take me 20 minutes to do something, if I can create something that'll let me get it done in 2 minutes, we're going to save time, we're going to save money, and we're going to get things done. So things like the light box that we started working with just evolved away from some of the other things. Some of the things that large format printing that I had as part of my business, my digital imaging business, bringing that in and being able to do really excellent work with getting canvases printed and stretched for Paint Your Pets.
You know,
Always innovating.
Also starting from day one with you, Harriet, Craig and I believe, had that ability to kind of see the future. So I was always able to see what was ahead, like, oh, we need to start doing this. We need to develop Art Buzz Kids. We need to start putting these on our calendar. We need, I mean, and we're really lucky in that sense. And I'll never forget in 2011, my artist, because we had such talented artists, one of my artists came up to me and she said, oh, what do you think of this painting? And it was a woman of color, female empowerment painting. And there was nothing like it in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
No other competitor, no one had a female empowerment painting on the calendar. And she questioned it and I said, oh, I love it. I love it. Let's just put it on the calendar. I love it. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I had this instinct and we would sell out and sell out and sell out. And I said to the artist, oh, you have to do more of these. You're so good at these. And she would create some landscapes and other things. And I said, no. Your gift is this woman of color, female empowerment paintings. Please do more. And then boom, boom, boom. They're the #1 sellers across the country in everyone's business. So
Right.
it's just, I think that starting at the beginning, our visions were always just a little bit
Mhm.
ahead of the game.
Yeah, and I do think so. As far as the franchise goes, I really believe that Marion and Craig as a franchise and some of our other franchisees have come up with these ideas and brought it to me as far as corporate goes, and we're so lucky to have that, so that we can involve that with our business. We're so I'm not a closed mind business where I only use my thoughts. I can 100% say that I built this business with my franchisees' help.
Oh,
And
yeah, absolutely.
Marion Craig was a big part of that. So, and I can applaud that. So 100% on that for sure. You can see this photo of them teaching them our virtual classes, which has been great. And they really kind of stuck out and done a lot with that as well. Tell us a little bit about how our virtual programs helped and how you're feeling about the pandemic and how y'all kind of worked really hard just to stay above competition and just kind of not closing your doors during this pandemic. How tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think right off the bat with, speaking of 2020, we had to all adapt very quickly to virtual, and my team of artists were just phenomenal about that because they were so willing to learn a new tool, learn a new way to teach. Virtual was one of them, and they jumped on board right away. Also being videotaped to teach pre-recorded classes. So the virtual, as it's grown huge now, I mean, we're talking almost a year later. And, a year ago, there was no virtual classes. Today, the option of a virtual private party public class has only added to our entire business. And I know that when the pandemic is over and we're going back, everybody is reopening, I believe there will be an explosion, without a doubt, an explosion with small businesses. And I believe the wine and design concept is going to explode because it is now offering so much more. Not only will people want to get out and have experiences, but we can now teach virtual team building all over the world. We can ship kits. We've got some shut-ins that can't get out of their house. We can teach them virtual. I mean, the opportunity is immense what virtual has brought to us.
And
Right.
some of the things that we had been working with, like over the years, we would make take-home painting kits as like Christmas presents and things like that. And as soon as the pandemic hit, it was a natural to say, we're going to make kits. We'll be able to provide these, have curbside pickup, and people will still be able to do something creative while they're being locked down and shut in.
Absolutely.
I mean,
2020 perfected our
weren't
cooking.
y'all the first studio that created the kits?
Pardon me?
I believe that you guys were the first studios to create the Christmas kits, right?
We did. We started, and it was simply a natural need because some customers couldn't make it to a class. We're talking 10 years ago. They couldn't
Right.
make it. We're like, well, let's package it up for you. You can take it home. And then it was, oh, look we're just making these adorable kids painting kits for home. And when I look back at how we packaged them up and how we package them up now, we have really refined that.
Oh, well, sure.
Beautiful kits today.
Oh, I know. Well,
Bows on them. It was crazy.
I know, but they still look beautiful. Well, the last question I have is, what is your advice to anyone that's interested in opening a wine and design?
Wow, advice. Well, first advice would be, of course, look into it, ask all the questions that you need to ask, visit studios as people have done that come to our studios and seen what a good working studio is all about.
take a class.
And hearing all of this, a business in a box, and what's not really touted is that all of the franchises are like a family, and all of them are willing and to offer advice and help and direction and sharing and things like that. And that is something that somebody coming into it not knowing that they have all of these resources and people available to them is something that should be touted even more.
You know, every franchisee gets something different, I believe, out of owning a wine and design franchise. I know me personally, the immense joy I get, the blessings from my customers, not only repeat customers who I get to know on a personal level, but an entire classroom of 30 people I've never met before, but smiles on their faces. I can walk around and talk to them. And as they leave, they look at you, the owner, and say, thank you so much. I had such a great time. Or they say, oh, this has changed my life. I absolutely love painting. Or they say, I just spent 2 hours with therapy. This is what I needed. I needed to take my mind off of my problems. I needed 2 hours of just letting go and painting. So the rewards are all from our customers and how we serve them. And as long as we do our job right and we deliver them a good product and good customer service and a great experience, they are just filled with joy. And so that reflects on us. I mean, I love it. I just love my customers. I love the people. I love talking to them. I love selling them a private party. I love chatting with them. That's me though. That's not every franchisee.
I'm into the product. I want a good product. I want excellent work. I want it that when the people come into the studio and they're taking a look at the sample paintings we have on the walls, they go, these are great. I want to do that. I want to do this and that and this. And again, that comes back to the joy. You know, as long as we're giving them a great product and a great experience, they're going to come back. They're going to tell their friends, and that's how you build the business.
And franchisees, they develop their own team. So we developed our own team. And again, I'm a little bit of a mother bear. I love my team. So everybody runs their franchise a little differently, but I genuinely love them and I try to treat them the best way possible because we're all equal. And they then give you an incredible, their teaching is just incredible. They begin to love the work. They begin to love what we love and are passionate about the business. And so together as your little family franchisee team, I love that. I just love that. And then it expands into the whole family of franchisees as a team and all of us working together. It's really a beautiful,
well, when it all comes together, it is right. It works.
It works.
Yeah, and it's a great partnership. And if anybody listening that decides to join, our wine and design family, you will 100% get to meet Marion and Craig. They live in Cary, which is right outside of the training center here in Raleigh, and we usually try to get them together with our franchisees, at least take a class so they can see the different studios and just kind of different style teachers. So Marion and Craig, thank y'all so much for taking time and meeting with me today and kind of telling your story. You're obviously greatly appreciative by me and so blessed that and fortunate that we've got to meet those 11 years ago in the little Starbucks cafe. And thank you again. And I guess that's all. Does anybody have any questions? Let me see. I don't think we have any questions right now, but if anybody has any questions, feel free to email us, and feel free to reach out to Marion and Craig. They're happy to answer any questions as well.
And thank you, Harriet, for your vision. Really, it was 12 years ago, and then putting it into motion 11 years ago, and being so excited about it. Again, not knowing what this would turn into, but without your vision and your passion and your absolute 100% devoted energy into it, it wouldn't be where it's at today, for sure.
Well, thank you, but my franchise, I feel like my franchisees and my team really help pump that as well. So working together is always a good thing in business, I feel like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
All
thank you
right, well, that's the end, and thank y'all again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you for having us.
Bye, everybody. All right.